What's going on YouTube? Josh here from The Creative Wade, and today we are taking a look at the Focusrite Scarlett 4i4 4th generation. Man, there's a lot of 4s in that name. But before we get any further into this video, I want to thank today's sponsor, zZounds. They were kind enough to send me this unit for review. I have used zZounds for the past couple of years on their no interest, no background, no credit check payment plan. It's a pay-as-you-play type of thing. I highly recommend them, not just because they're sponsoring the video, but because they are really good people to do business with, and I always recommend them to my personal friends and family. Without further delay, let's go ahead and hop into the review. In the box, you will find, of course, the interface itself, which is built like a tank. You will find the USB cord, a power supply, which we'll get to that later, a Type A to Type C adapter on top of the USB cord, which again, we will come back to that later. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to just hop into an audio demo, show you the different modes, and that way you can kind of get an idea of what it sounds like. And then after the demo, I will go over some pros and cons and give you my final verdict on this interface and whether I think it's right for you or maybe it's not. Okay guys, so here we are running through the Rode NT1 Signature Series directly into the Scarlett 4i4 4th generation. And as you can see on the screen here, I have got it set to dry, so there is no air mode engaged. And I will go ahead and I will toggle the first one, which is presence. So here is my voice with presence on it. And now I will go ahead and I will switch it to presence and drive. So here is my voice with presence and drive on it. Let me go ahead and switch back to dry again. So here is my voice with nothing on it. We'll test out the auto gain here in a second. I just want you guys to hear this with both of the air modes engaged. And one more time, we'll go back to presence, and that is the regular presence, and then we'll switch over to presence and drive. So this is my voice with presence and drive, and what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go back to the dry mode, and we're going to test out the auto gain. It's going to switch to the camera audio. I'm going to switch it to the camera audio when I do this because it does mute the signal temporarily until it gets an auto gain. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And while it's testing, it tells me to keep speaking normally. I apologize for the terrible audio on the camera. I didn't even hook a microphone up because I didn't know that it would actually mute the signal. So let's see what it does. It says it's good to go. And where did it put me? Okay, it put me, yeah, that sounds about right. Safe mode, I personally would never use safe mode. It acts like a ducker. It ducks out the higher volume. It doesn't act like a limiter really. That could save you in like a podcast scenario. I could see someone benefiting from that. So let's start out with a con, just because I want to get the cons out of the way because there aren't very many. This interface would not power on when I plugged it into my laptop's USB with that little adapter that comes with it. Now, having said that, I know for a fact they're USB 3.0 ports. I don't know why it wouldn't power it, but it is a laptop. I do have it plugged into the wall, so keep in mind you might have to use the power supply if you're just going to use this and you don't have a USB Type-C. Pro, built like a tank. If you guys have had Scarletts before, you probably already know that, but this thing is nice and weighty, but it's not too heavy. It doesn't feel cheap. The knobs feel really good on it. It's built like you would expect from Focusrite. Okay, we'll go to another con, and this is more of a gripe than, I guess, a con. It's not really a con, but it's something that I wish more manufacturers in this price range would do. 2 headphone outs. Please bring us more interfaces in this price range, or even cheaper if you can, with 2 headphone outs, because it is such a pain in the ass when we have sessions and we have to run a headphone amp. Another pro, the LED rings. I thought they were kind of gimmicky at first when I saw the videos on them, but after using them for a couple of days, they're not gimmicky. They actually are easy to see from across the room, so they're not gimmicky. They actually do serve a purpose. Probably not the last pro, but this was something that I noticed, in my 2 days of using this thing. It has MIDI in and out. Myself, I sometimes run an electric drum set and I use the MIDI ports. It's just really nice to see a company in this price range still include a MIDI I/O. So final thoughts, and who do I think this interface is for? I think if you have any of the older Scarletts and you're looking to maybe expand your I/O, you will love this interface. If you're used to that sound and you want more ins and outs, go for this one. You're gonna like it. It sounds even better than the previous generation, and that says a lot because the previous generation didn't sound bad to me. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully this helped you make an educated decision if you are considering buying one of these interfaces. And again, I do greatly appreciate it if you hit the affiliate links down below. Helps me out a whole lot. Doesn't cost you anything extra. And if you like this type of content, hit that subscribe button because I do post gear reviews regularly, and I actually have 2 or 3 more Scarletts coming up in the near future. Until I see you guys next time, remember, it's called music theory, not music fact. Have a good one.